Parker here. Let's stop pretending this is a conversation about hunting or hobbies. It's not. This is about force and who gets to use it. Liberals will tell you guns are dangerous and unnecessary, that a civilized society should rely on institutions, not firearms, to resolve conflict and protect rights. Okay, fine. Let's say we take that deal. Let's say tomorrow all civilian guns vanish. What exactly is the incentive for the government or any institution with a monopoly on force to continue respecting your property rights? Because once the check is gone, what's the balance? That's the question no one is willing to answer. Let's skip the slogans and ask the question nobody in the anti 2A crowd seems ready to answer. If we get rid of guns, what protects your property after the government decides your rights are optional? The progressive pitch is straightforward. Guns are dangerous, so let's get rid of them. Fewer guns equal fewer shootings. However, fewer shootings do not necessarily mean fewer abuses of power, because once all the guns are gone and the only ones left with force are the people writing the rules, what happens when those rules turn on you? Let me pose this question to liberals. What's your backup plan if the government crosses the line? The most common answer I hear is, well, they wouldn't do that. That's not a plan. That's a bedtime story with a body count. You can't be surprised when unchecked power misbehaves, especially when you insisted they be the only ones holding the stick. We use the phrase monopoly of force like it's some abstract principle. It's not. It's a small group of people with guns who get to act in the name of the law. And once you're disarmed, you're not appealing to some ideal. You're begging that small group to be nice. In accounting, this is referred to as the separation of duties. The person who approves the invoice isn't the one who cuts the check. The person who counts the cash doesn't make the deposit. Why? Because people fail and people cheat. Systems must be built with this in mind. You don't just trust people to do the right thing. You build it so they can't do the wrong thing without consequences. The Second Amendment is the separation of powers, but for the power. Now let's be blunt. We are one vote, one crisis, one populist demagogue away from your property being redefined as someone else's right. One viral speech, and suddenly what you own becomes what you owe. And when that happens and you're disarmed, what do? File a complaint? Write a thread? Wait for the kindness of bureaucrats? If your whole defense is they wouldn't do that, then newsflash, you don't own anything. You're renting your rights from the majority, and the lease is up at the next election. This idea that the state will stay gentle forever, that once we disarm, it'll be hugs and harmony, is delusion wrapped in hope. That's the same line every utopian ideology has sold. Just give us all the power and we'll give it back later. Spoiler, they never give it back. And if you need historical proof, every totalitarian regime, every last one, started with disarmament. Stalin, Mao, Hitler, Pol Pot, they didn't want a debate, they wanted silence. And nothing silences faster than a population that gave up its last line of defense voluntarily. Here's the ugly truth. You don't own something if it can be taken without cost. Property rights aren't fundamental unless the state knows there's a line it shouldn't cross. Without that line, you're not free. You're just lucky, and that luck can run out. So, I'll ask again. If the guns are gone, what protects your property rights when the system fails? If your answer is trust, then what you have isn't liberty, it's polite dictatorship. This is AnvilHammerForge. Let's get to work.